Hi, my name is Carlos Villanueva. I'm the head of marketing intelligence at BICS, and today I've been speaking about monetizing your assets in the digital economy.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. It's the first time BICS is attending this event. First of all, I'm not Ravish Patel, as the agenda says. That's my colleague. He couldn't join, but my name is Carlos Villanueva, and I'm heading the market intelligence team at BICS. Basically, with a strong focus on digital service providers, cloud communication providers, telcos, and MVNOs, and now with the IoT space as well. So I've been working in the telco space many years, and also in the digital media. And today I'm very busy following basically the telco digital transformation, but also the digitization of the industries is how these industries now they are moving ahead, and we are doing a lot of research on that. So today I'm not basically talk about digital content. So if you were expecting that, I won't talk about that. But I would talk about something different. BICS basically believes that there are way more opportunities in the digital OTT called space than just the digital content. In this presentation, basically what you will see is what we will look at how we can manage the matchmake of the telcos or the mobile operators' needs and challenges to those of the digital service providers. Is how we can match them together to create revenue for the mobile operators. First of all, this is the first time you are here. I would like to introduce you BICS. So BICS is a global enabler. We are that is basically working in international solutions domain. So we are also working in international connectivity and international interoperability. So we are bridging the needs and challenges of the different players in the communications ecosystem together, from the mobile operators to the digital service providers, or to the mobile virtual operators, or the cloud comms service providers. And there are many more that we are aimed to bridge. So we are connected directly to all these players in the ecosystem, and we are basically supporting them to generate revenues. Let's start analyzing what the mobile operators market today and what are their challenges, because it will help us to understand basically how BICS is helping them. Today, as you know, the mobile operators are under extremely high pressure, not only due to the new unconventional communication providers or digital providers, but also from the regulators, right? The mobile operators are trying to stay relevant and are trying, of course, to be part of the digital economy. So the mobile operators are also trying to look at new ways to generate revenue and also to protect their current revenues from the digital service providers. So the disruption, as everybody knows, is happening. And as Obun said, the digital service providers, since few years, have already managed to reach 10% of the market share of the revenues, which means that the competition will increase even more and more in the coming years. This is not over, this is just the beginning. If we take just one example of the traditional voice, as you know, the volumes are basically declining, and there's a lot of disintermediation, right? So the voice business is being commoditized, meaning that the organizations, and specifically the telcos, they basically need to evolve. What I mean with that is that the organizations that are able to transform into customer-centric organizations will be the ones that will be able to manage the generation of the revenue generation, but also to ride the wave by understanding much more their customers and their customer needs. This is how they will add more and more value to their propositions. Why customer-centric organizations? Because the customer's demand is evolving, right? So if it is evolving, it means that it's triggering the transformation of the telco industry to stay relevant in the new ecosystem, in the new digital ecosystem. And there are many drivers, like the importance of the technology and the network as enabler for the new digital services, but also the social media and content exploding due to the customer demand evolution, and of course the disruption of all of these different players that are basically driving the mobile operators to stay relevant and find new services, speed up to compete in this new ecosystem. As you can see there are so many triggers of the new customer experience. Some of them, for example, the rich multimedia, the cloud services, or the interoperability. There are many factors that are basically driving and triggering the new customer experience. And in that customer experience, what is important to know that, for example, BICS is in that ecosystem, because as we are basically connected to these different players in the ecosystem, meaning the operators, the mobile operators, the mobile virtual operators, the MVNOs, the cloud communication providers, the digital service providers, or the OTTs, we can basically enable interoperability in between them to generate revenues in between each other and create new customer experiences that could be monetized. This is basically what I was explaining at the beginning, is how we can manage the matchmake of the needs and challenges of the different players there. Let's just take an example of the mobile operators and the digital service providers. Today, the mobile operators, of course, are looking for new revenue streams, right? They want to join the digital economy. They also want to be part of the solutions of the digital service providers, because if they are not part, basically this disintermediation will continue, right? But they are facing a lot of barriers. They cannot access the digital economy easily, and basically there is a lot of complexity in handling and managing the relations with multiple OTTs, multiple digital service providers that are popping up. And on the other hand, we have the digital service providers. They would like to have access to the assets of the mobile operators, but also to the resources of the mobile operators, right? Why? Because they would like to offer a better customer experience. They want to offer secure, enhanced security, and also offer global connectivity. But at the same time, they are facing barriers. Which kind of barriers? The most important, one of the most important barriers is that they cannot manage the complexity of being country by country, trying to have a deal with the different local mobile operators. So here we are. It's the model that we are basically using is a very innovative, comprehensive model, because it's an outsourced monetization model. It's how we put together the needs and challenges of the different players there to make it happen. It's how we can enable the digital service providers and also the mobile operators to operate, to have business in between each other. So this is let's say, a full partnership model, a bilateral partnership model, where it's looking at decreasing the complexity of accessing the digital economy, as being a middleman in the ecosystem, and as having all these players already connected in this hubbing model that is enable interoperability in between all the players. Basically, we are there to create value for them. So how we are doing that? In BICS, we believe that we can help to generate new revenue streams for the mobile operators and mobile virtual operators by basically via a comprehensive and innovative monetization portfolio. What I mean monetization is monetizing the different business and network assets. Today, They have different, the mobile operators, they have different assets. Which kind of assets they have? They have many. They have databases, they have authentication services, network access, analytics, voice services, SMS services, and also location-based services. Just imagine, for example, if the location-based services could be used by a credit card provider or a digital enterprise to authenticate the operations of their customers. Or, for example, if the analytics could be used by a digital enterprise to understand users' patterns or to understand customers' behaviors in order to serve them much better. There are many use cases where the different assets that mobile operators today could be used by a partnership with the digital service providers. So being more concrete, the asset monetization model that BICS is proposing to basically to the market is it's a partnership bilateral model where the operators are basically letting an experienced partner, which is already connecting there, to handling the complexity of the relations with the digital service providers, removing the complexity of those relationships, but also accessing global reach. When I mean global reach is you are accessing the many digital service providers that are there, looking forward to do partnership with the mobile operators that today they don't have access to. This is a very concrete example, and I basically it's a use case, right? I don't know if you are aware of the mobile identity management opportunity. So today, the mobile operators are very well positioned to monetize the mobile identity opportunity by offering these such services. If you look at this, by 2020, according to Analysis Mason, there is an opportunity if the mobile operators can access this mobile identity market of $1.4 billion, right? As it is not addressable today due to the complexity of going after the digital service providers and open up their networks via, for example, API tools, right? And trying to understand these players that they don't have any telco experience, is how they could do it, is how you can bridge the needs and challenges of both parties. So one way that we are basically positioning in the market is what we call the mobile inside. This is basically how BICS believes that we can do it in practical terms. Is we create a service, right, that is bridging the OTTs and or the digital service providers with the telco world. Because as they cannot have direct relationships, let's do it through a service. Let's do it through mobile inside. And let's try to monetize the mobile identity management. What is mobile inside? Just in practical terms. It's a mobile identity service that is used to authenticate new users of digital platforms via a number. It's like a credit card company trying to validate that you guys are in UK and you are the relevant user of that bank account. It's mobile payments, for example. It's mobile banking. It's about e-government tools or m-health. It's about how via the mobile number you can bridge the telco and the digital service providers and monetize the ecosystem. How we are monetizing the ecosystem? Because the digital service providers will require the access to the authentication services, right? And the operator will demand revenues in the other hand. So this is how, and this is just an example of how we at BICS, we believe that via different products and services, we can monetize the ecosystem, taking into account the needs and challenges of the players there. So hands off if you knew about this, or this is the first time you you talk about this? Any of you knew about how the digital service providers and the telcos could do it, not talking about content, digital content? Okay, that's great. So if it is the first time that you are listening about this, it's great that you can take this message back on to your organizations, because this is more about digital content, right? It's about monetization of the assets and being able to capitalize on the digital economy. It's a way to make operations efficient and create more value for you as a telco operator. That's it. Thank you.